died multiple times if it wasn't for you, and that's just me. Many
Maybe.
and everyone
Sorry.
else has had similar experiences to me.
That may be true, but I couldn't. I couldn't have got us out of that last situation. I thought that was it. I
We
thought
have
I was fighting.
we have to play to our skills. Some of us are strong in certain areas, and others are strong in others. You are strong. That is your skill, and you're tough as nails.
Mm,
You are also more intelligent than you let on. If you
that
don't
comes
trust,
in.
if you don't trust Red,
Um,
bring it back up in the arc, and we will take it seriously. But I don't believe that she is a risk. She would not tell us about the Hell Riders if she was a spy. They wouldn't want us to know about them when they're spying on us.
You know
Latest.
much about? Do you know much about horticultural stuff?
Uh, I know a little. I have been learning more to know more about my team. It's always good to have things to talk about.
I
But in the arc, there may be books on horticulture that I could get you. We could go to a garden center when we're out in the zone, get more. I am far more. I agree with you. We need to farm more food. We need food, or we
right,
cannot
Rach,
lose.
I've put something on roll 20 for
We
you to
can.
look at.
Yeah.
We cannot lose the numbers that we are losing and win
Well,
this war.
well, if you ever manage to get a card, get anything on horticultural, you should maybe read up something about weeds. This
Yeah.
You
is
say weed.
interesting. Yeah, it's weeds. They're an interesting plant. You
Mhm.
should probably look that up before you judge red.
I promise that I will take your comment seriously. And when I go to the bosses, I'm sure that she will be on the list of people to look into.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially look up the dandelion or the daisy because they they see
oh,
themselves as flowers. They don't see themselves as weeds, and people see them as flowers and not realize the weeds. Just something to think about.
yeah.
What the heady is blocked. There is burned out
Mhm.
vehicles
Um,
blocking the
can
path to a
I?
large concrete structure.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder at this point,
Ooh.
and I'm going to use my ability to make him feel better.
Yo, is this a mutation or a skill?
I think I'm just going to use my skill.
Yeah, look, I mean, you've had enough of a chat. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Mhm,
Give me a roll, and just if you've got, you need for every success you get, he gets a point back.
mhm.
Nice.
I would assume it's
Is this the counselor thing that you're rolling? Is that what this
yeah.
is?
I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a sense of motion into it, or is that manipulate?
No, no, unless it's a skill that you've got in particular, like your.
I'm sure that it's like you can do it through talking, like you can heal people.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that, but I still have. I know my power can do it. Uh,
Yeah.
Um.
The way I see it is you'll have your skill as a chronicler,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're a counselor, that'll come through. That might come
Aye.
through that
So
because of
inspire
your
maybe would be
yeah,
better then.
like my shake it off
Mm-hmm.
basically is what that does instead of just going off whatever. It just gives me an for depending on the talent I have, I'm able to do stuff like so shake off doubt with cynic and other
Be
stuff.
fair, actually,
Mm-hmm.
it's you help someone, he gets
So
an extra
my
plus one
inspire, I got
inspiration.
one success.
Right, that's cool. I'll say just based on the level of RPs we're doing there, you can just get put back to full because I mean you went at it there,
Oh,
so it's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fine.
in that case, I will as he does that, puts a hand on and says, I will take your advice on board though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's cool. So yeah, you've talked about this for a while. I mean, this has been a fairly long journey as we're going on. So you went back and forward, and yeah, ahead of you there is a kind of large kind of concrete, hastily looks kind of hastily built. So it's like fairly like crude,
Mm.
but it blocks the road. It goes over. With enough space for like a large vehicle to get through, there's some large metal-looking gates, and there is some burned-out vehicles that have got like various bits of detritus in them.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bogart, what? Wait. What does this writing say here?
And what does the writing say there?
It basically says like checkpoint, quarantine checkpoint,
Mhm.
and it just gives indication that you have to stop your vehicle and you have to allow yourself to be checked by military personnel to ensure you're not infected.
It seems to be a quarantine checkpoint from the plague that killed the ancients. Well,
I
Okay,
know
so
the
just
word.
ignore it
most
then.
of the ancients. We have our
know-
elder, and we have another older elder that we met before, which I find quite suspicious. But
I know the word checkpoint. I just don't understand what it means. I know it's a word.
it means you stop there. It's like they probably were coming to get checked by doctor. Like, see how you do your spit thing? There's other ways to do that.
Right, I get you.
Right, the road ahead of you is blocked by some vehicles. You can try and smash them out the way, but there is still the gates to deal with. How would you want to proceed with that?
I'm going to
Well,
run to the toilet quickly.
Yeah, me and the guys will get we can push the vehicles out the way. That's no problem.
Absolutely fine, yeah. So between the three grunts, you just go up and you just drag them. It takes some time, and they're heavy and like their tires are flat. But you know, these are again, this is what you guys do. Yeah, you just drag the vehicles out. You just have a check through them. There's nothing much of interest in them.
You said they were burned out, yeah?
Burned out. These looks like there's holes in them. They're smashed. Yeah.
Anything interesting in them?
No, they have been destroyed. They've been here for a long time and like subject to the elements. It looks like something happened at this checkpoint.
Right.
But yeah, and now ahead of you there is a large there's a large metallic gate of some kind.
Which is iron, but we wouldn't know it's iron.
Yeah, you aren't going to like get into the metallurgy of this.
I
You
could
just don't know.
imagine it probably. I could probably
I mean, if you
understand
want to run
iron
some
as a thing.
tests so that you can jury rig something together to see what kind of metal this is, and
Oh,
then
if it
I'll go
rusts.
iron.
Yeah. If it rusts, yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of alloy. But yeah, so that's it. How would you like to proceed?
Open
Any way
gate.
around?
Yeah, you could actually go round the checkpoint itself. The concrete kind of like leads off. It is quite rough terrain, so it might be quite hard to get through.
Would the tractor get through it?
You can certainly try.
Thought so. Right. Yeah. Well,
Stand
I'll
up and look at it.
I'll look at the stalkers. What do you think? I mean, there is a way round, but it might take longer, and I get a little bit more nervous every time I think about these hell riders being able to move as quick.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, she's doing a thing. She's mouthing it. She likes to play this game every so often. It means you're muted, Rach.
Are you? So I'm muted on Roll20, not Roll20, on Discord. Oh, she's muted on her she's muted her headset.
You know, it's good as well because I was talking and I couldn't say what I wanted to say anyway.
I will say that the large gate does look like you could open it.
It
Which
does
way?
look like it because what I
it's a
said
gate.
before when you couldn't
Yeah.
hear me because I forgot I had it was
I'll
on
kind of like
mute.
look over at Gray and be like, you were able to see into that room. Would you be able to do the same for there?
Imagine a gate that's got like kind of like it's literally a gate, so it's like bars on bars, so you can see through it. You can see this leads to an area, which leads to another gate, which seems to lead to the road beyond.
Yeah.
Is there an
I
obvious
feel
way to
like this
open
may
it?
be a perfect place for a flap, and I'd rather not be jumped.
Does it open in the way or out the way?
It actually opens into the wall, so it actually slides into the wall itself. It's like, for example, it's one on either side, as they both slide into the wall. So there's one road coming, which would be the other way, and the road that you're on. Obviously, you're using driving in the middle because you don't understand the rules of the road, but you know.
Also, the road's a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit wonky.
Flair, do you fancy coming and checking it out with me?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Me and Flair, the double act of the game, baby.
I would actually
Yeah,
think
you are.
Gray's sonar would be probably pretty useful here,
Yeah.
but
I'm not stopping you doing anything. You just do
I
what you
too
like.
agree. I too agree. But however,
Mhm.
I don't know she has sonar. So the case being, me and Flair are going to check this out like we've done hundreds of times.
Oh, did
Thanks,
you know
Scott,
that
and
she
you-
did
Clean up
sonar?
now.
She did sonar in the warehouse, so would they know about her ability?
Is that noticeable though? That's the thing, because she can just blink and then all of a sudden.
I don't know, Mary. Is it noticeable? Do like your ears get massive or
Yeah,
something? Or
That's what I was,
you
I
go,
was thinking.
I think what happens is maybe some people can hear a very slight sort of high-pitched sound. Like, well, you know when bats are flying about.
I
just
do
gone-
not understand any of that. I'm a grunt.
So Greeny goes,
Yeah, I just okay.
So you can hear part of it, but it's the lower end of it you can hear.
I get you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when you get that very high pitched noise, so yeah, I mean you're aware of mutations. You've heard mutants in the arc talk about being able to see in the dark and use sound to augment their vision. So I mean, yeah.
I'm not putting
I mean,
that
Green
together.
may well have mentioned it. I don't know.
I am going to climb on top of it with my mutation.
Okay, well the way it works is you've got the actually you could climb on top of it. Yeah, you can walk up the side and kind of climb up. There's no
Pure
stopping
insect,
you,
like, well, it's my power. I've got the power to do it, so I'm like literally running up it like an insect.
You do your weird horrifying insect thing, and there's a raised platform, and yeah, there's appears to be like a room that's encased in so like just a concrete room with a kind of door that's blown open and closed.
Can I see
and it's
any?
like a walkway right the way down, and it seems to be something similar on the other side.
I'm gonna kind of like keep to the roof, and try and like kind of keep an eye out in case there's any like people kicking about.
If you want to have a look, you'll give me some kind of roll that will have a look for people.
Yeah,
Actually, no, don't bother. You have a look around. You don't see anyone. I mean, you look, you bang the door, you look where you think people would be able to hide.
I'll kind of like look down and be like, it's all clear.
Go and see if the gate works.
The gate moves. It's very heavy.
So it's just like, oh, come on.
Oh, what's a grey? I'll give you a hand, and I'll.
It just goes.
Yeah. No, I'll just
yeah.
It's
Just
just like somebody struggling to lift a bag and you've just went, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. But the grunts you managed to put open. They put up a little bit of resistance, but it's almost like they've been opened before. Maybe not recently, but yeah, somebody opens and closes these gates. But yeah, they open and it leads you into an area where it looks like maybe the inspections took place. There's various posters up on the wall which Bogart can read, which indicates something about where you should wait, why you should wait, what you should expect if you fail the test. You'll be taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. You also notice a couple of little side areas.
I'm going to have a peek in the side areas.
Absolutely, yeah. So going in there, you have a look through it, and there seems to be like various types of kind of medical equipment. Well, you would recognise it as medical equipment from being a Sawbones. You've seen stories of these kind of items in the books that you've read. I've looked up some names, so I'm going to read them. Well, I didn't look this one up. Tongue depressor, ophthalmoscope, which is an eye examiner, so I looked that one up. And various other. And a pamphlet describing signs of infection, things to look for: redness in eyes, shortness of breath, bleeding gums, other horrifying things that would be very easy to notice. But it does talk specifically about the ones that are early stages of infection.
I'm going to write it down, but I'm not going to bother about taking any of the equipment except for maybe some random tools that we could maybe use.
No, I mean, these are all particularly medical things. It all seems to be inspection stuff.
We're not going to be needing to check each other's eyes. We're mutants, for fuck's sake. It's like...
You guys are pretty horrifically bloodshot most of the time anyway, so...
Hey, I have these symptoms.
Yeah, there might be gubbins in it, though, if we could strip it down for parts.
That's up to Grey. I do not need a lot of this equipment, just the general tools. Like, why would I need to check the eyes of mutants?
Oh, body
We've
tools.
got such beautiful eyes with the lip goggles.
You also think things like PPE, so you got rubber gloves, eyeglasses, like the kind of cheap aprons that people wear, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I'm going to take it, but that's because it's going to be very useful for my barbecue later.
You could wear one as a cape as well, just at the back.
Oh yeah, do it in a run and make you look as if you're flying.
Oh yeah, because yes, that would look awesome.
I would look even better with him because he runs out stupid miles.
Since I run like Naruto.
And Bogger, as you're looking through it, one of them appears to be an office desk, kind of like that computer thing. You've heard of the stories of them, and I see it's very basic, but yeah, it appears that whoever's in charge would maybe spend time in here.
The computer turn on?
Computer doesn't appear to work. It maybe work if you got it powered up, but at the moment, you flick the switches, nothing happens.
I'll kind of like look